needs a ticket now and then.
Don't need it.
Oh, I gotta get my phone.
Welcome everybody, Co-op Guild.
Hi everyone.
Gold star from Kim this time.
Yes, my perils of rental cars and speeding tickets.
The perils of rental cars.
She goes to the rental agency. It's like, oh, it's you.
It's me. Yeah.
Just write her a pre-printed ticket and then have her on her way. Right?
It's right here. Sign now. There you go. But in my defense, one of them was in France, and France is dead serious on speeding.
Yep.
I was going maybe 8 kilometers over, which is like 4. It's nothing. That's a oops, I touched the pedal. So that's my defense.
Wait, they actually have a speed limit in France?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing.
A lot of cameras.
They're very serious. Like, don't speed over there. I learned my lesson. I'm sorry.
At least you didn't drive on the wrong side of the road when you got home.
No, it's all the same.
Pulled over
That's
for that
not our
one.
France, no.
It's all good.
But
Yeah.
welcome everybody. We're not here to talk about speeding tickets, though. That is fun.
We've derailed
Yep.
Steve.
That's right. We are here to the Riddler
The Riddler
Twins.
Twins,
Exactly. We're here in this co-op chat. It's the end of the year, and so it's always fun to do end of year reflections and talk about all the awesome games of 2024. So we're going to go through the whole list. I did send out a form for the community to respond, so we'll talk about some of those games as well. But we got a bunch of categories going through, like biggest surprises, hidden gems, game of the year, of course, best expansion, all that fun stuff. And we're going to share all of our choices.
That's right. That's right. You boys do look good.
Uh-oh.
Looking good.
Barrett's about to get got by his own
One of the
son.
biggest surprise deals to get all of us together. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
good.
Okay, so we dive into it.
We should, because it'll be a long one.
This is probably a long one. Yep. All right, so to start off with this list, I talked about, before we get to 2024, let's talk about games we played this year that weren't necessarily the newest and latest, that we kind of had fun with, that we kind of want to highlight or take a look back at. I call it a look back in this one. So, but I'll start with Derrick first. So you chose the game you want to highlight as Earthbound Rangers.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, real quick. What are you talking about?
What's the subject, teacher? These are
I feel
previous
like
games.
I walked into math class and there's
You get it
Wait,
wrong,
wait,
Barrett.
what are we doing? Why am I here
You
again?
gotta get it wrong, Barrett. You always have to start off with, I heard you, but for Colin's benefit, can you repeat it?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Snow, not newest games. It's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
talking about games we did last year that aren't from 2024?
Yeah.
You filled it out fine. Don't worry about it. I got you
Perfect.
prepped. You're good.
The screen will tell him what game to talk about.
That's right. But Barrett,
ready.
I agree with you, because look back isn't what you called it on your little Excel form that we filled out.
Yeah, no.
It's true.
So
It's
your
true.
confusion is my confusion. It's okay.
The highlight is what I
Yeah,
called it.
yeah.
I could. It's fine.
Anyway, Derrick,
Okay.
Earthborn Rangers.
What? Oh, it's me. So, what are we talking about? No, Earthborn Rangers. Yes, this to me is a lot of the FFG old school crew came together and put this together, and it's an amazing game. It's one of those games that doesn't. It's not okay. We'll go in and fight and fight and fight. It's just more. It's a nice explore, open world, move around game. Very not relaxing, but easy. It's chill. I like it a lot, and I feel that if they continue with this could rival like the LCGs that FFG's put out easily. I know they had another crowdfunding to where I did go all in and grab the stuff I was missing from there. But Zach, Look at Her Gaming, put me onto this game, and I'm glad he did. This game is amazing, and I like it.
I don't know, man. I think I got to try it again.
Don't worry, Kim. I was really surprised at the learning curve on this one.
Yeah. Maybe that's it.
I only played the preview, so I didn't play.
For me, this game, I like it solo.
Mhm.
But I can see where a lot of people would like the multiplayer aspects of it, but I prefer it solo 100% because it's more, all right, well, I got to pull an animal from you, or you got to pull an animal from me, instead of it just being in the threat area. It's like Marvel Champions, how a creature or some type of threat would come in your area, but then someone can help you. So it works the same idea, but I still, as a solo game, I think this game is, I like it. I think it's fun.
Oh yeah, I'm not
Um,
yucking your yum. I'm just saying. I'm just saying
I feel like you
try.
did, Cam. I feel like
I
you
gotta-
did. No.
I gotta try it again.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Teaching this one, there is, like Bairnt said, there is a learning curve to it. But once you get it, to me, I was able to make a pet deck. Funny enough.
What?
Yeah, I made a pet deck. I had a dog, a hawk, a squirrel, and a cat, and it was great.
You see, pets are good, Derek.
No.
I literally have it right in front of me.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. I said in this game they made it fun.
No, cool. Very cool.
Okay. Colin, you're up next. You chose to highlight or take a look back at Frostpunk.
Yes. You can't
Oh,
go
I'm so glad you talked in this one, Steve Colin. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, it's so good. I was so deterred from this game initially because of the whole having to sign to make children work, blah blah blah. I think I was getting too focused on that, and I decided not to back the game. Well, I found it secondhand and just played it this year and loved every minute of it. It's like the best of Robinson Crusoe and the best parts of This War of Mine combined for me. Right, I've got the fun, worker placement, trying to build my civilization, but then I still have those cards with those ridiculously evocative storylines that emerge this story that's so unique to that world, right? And I loved it. I could play that again in a heartbeat. It's a long game, but it's worth every minute of it. And every time I've played it and finished, I just immediately want to set up and play it again. So yeah, that's for me, Frostpunk. I love it. I love. And the biggest thing I wish they had was more scenarios. I understand that they only have 4, and they have variation of the first one 4 times. I wish there was more of those encounters. I understand why they didn't, but I'm still hopeful that maybe that'll happen. You don't need that, but I would just love it.
For sure.
Cool. So we can play this when we go to Minnesota.
You can play it now because I have it. So
It'll only take you about 4 hours.
Do you have it, Derek? Okay, so then
yeah, I brought it to play. Steve and I played it.
Yeah, we played it.
Did I play it? I don't know if I played it.
No, but I can bring it next
I
time.
don't
bring it
think
over.
you played it. No, because they play 2-player only. You'd probably
No,
enjoy
you can
it.
play. You can play 4-player. You can play for this game 4 players. Everyone only gets everyone, as it's supposed to be. Everyone does 1 action. Yeah. So everyone's always playing. There's very low downtime.
Cool, yeah.
Jan's asking you, Colin, would you play Frostpunk over Mage Knight?
No. Well,
Okay, that's like saying, hey, would you rather eat this peanut butter sandwich or this filet mignon?
yeah.
Like his favorite game of all time, or would you play anything else?
To be fair, Mage Knight is really enjoyable, but the nice part about Frostpunk is there's actually a storyline. Mage Knight, there's no storyline. So if you want, if I'm more in the mood to have some sort of emergent story going, I'd pick Frostpunk over Mage Knight, just because of that. But I think from a gameplay perspective, it's hard to say. It's hard to pick most of anything. There's only one other game that goes above Mage Knight for me, and that's it. So, yeah, from a gameplay perspective, I just love Mage Knight.
Yeah, and on the scenarios part of that column, the reason why it's short is because they're only missing 1 scenario from the actual IP game, which is the last autumn, but all the other scenarios are there.
That's what I thought, and I get they're totally replayable. It's just the fun part is exploring those, and I'm just thinking of Robinson Crusoe. We now have that huge adventure book with billions and billions of different scenarios, and I just wish we could have more scenarios with Frostpunk, because the first time you play one of them and you reveal those cards, oh my gosh, I have to do that, but then the next time you play, you can plan for it, and yeah, that's fine, but it's just not as cool. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Bairnt, got you next. Well, you mentioned 2 games.
I did?
Yes, KDM,
Nice.
of course, and Nemesis, which is probably.
I did mention both of those, didn't I? I got this one. So yeah, we're doing KDM right now. Oh, you're doing Nemesis first. Okay. Nemesis is great. I like Nemesis. You go around and I like all the Nemesis. I just got upgraded stuff for Nemesis. Just came. I didn't have the medic, so I now have the medic, which is awesome. So this is probably going to come back to the channel. I'm going to play the medic, and I've got these really cool draw tokens where you can draw the stuff out of the bag. And the bag is so much better now. They got one of those like deep bags like they do from what is it, Isofarian Guard, so you can actually reach your hand in instead of like trying to get 2 fingers into it and pull out a chip, which is kind of neat.
So you got the acrylic tokens?
Yes.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
So I'm super pumped for that. Nemesis is a great game, and they're coming out with Retaliation. So it's like I went back and played it this year. We played at Gen Con was actually the big game. We played at Gen Con with 5 people, which is awesome. And so yeah, Nemesis is great.
Yes, John. I was trying to fit both on the screen. I chopped it, and
you did
I don't know if that's the best idea. So.
Yeah, Kingdom Death we're playing right now. We're on Land Tier 13. We're gonna be fighting this guy when we return in January. This is the Black Knight. We're gonna give him a shot. But I've been really, really enjoying coming back to this and having Colin join me for this little ride. Civilization, a civ building boss battler, the best in the biz, if not one of the best games of all time. So I'm really glad that we get to play this together. So we got what about 17 more years left to go.
In the game.
Yeah.
We're probably in real life too at this point. So. I missed the Cadian stream. I heard Colin kill me off.
This is true. Robin did die in our last stream.
Hey, I got carried off by a bird.
Yeah, you didn't even get to appear on the board.
You looked at the night sky, Derrick, and it just...
You went up there, you were like, oh, look at it, it looks so great. Like, whoosh, you're gone. And it's like, oh, boy.
And Steve was eaten alive by the croc, right?
Games with a drawbag that don't include a bag big enough for your hand should be banned. That's true.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay, let me jump to my look back. Mine is Ashes. I am loving this game. This game is so much fun. They keep adding these new bosses takedown, and they add new tweaks to the cards out there, and I really hope to keep this thing going. They do have, I think, 2 more bosses to do, so we'll have the full cycle of 7. And after that, we'll see if they do another full cycle after that or not. I'm not sure what's happening.
That wasn't a 2024 game?
It yes and no, because it's continually being released, so.
Okay, because my list is... Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, you might be talking about this one later.
I might be talking about this one later.
Yes. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. So, yep, really enjoy this one. This is one of my go-tos, especially when you're traveling. I'll play this one on stream. I really, really enjoy it. So, Kim, you have an older game to talk about as well. Yours.
I do.
And this was introduced by Colin.
Yeah, Colin. So, Daybreak. Like, throwback. We
Heck
played
yeah.
this when we were visiting, and I thought this was great. I really, really like this game.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many games you could put on this list, but I thought, what was something that I don't easily have access to that I'm like, oh, right, that one game. So that's where it made the list. So Thank you for introducing it. Highly recommend it to people that like cooperative, like management.
Tableau building.
Yeah.
It's a really good one. I really like this one too. This was my number 2 option for this list.
Well, I got you covered, babe.
You do.
This will be one of the greatest games I never own. I think Steve, you said that about Maximum Apocalypse.
Uh-huh.
I say it about this game because this game is fantastic multiplayer, like fantastic. I don't want to play it solo.
Yeah,
but
That's fair.
but like if 3 people, 4 people get together, yeah, let's do it because this will be.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we reached out to the community though and asked kind of their games they want to highlight, and we'll take a look back. Got a wide variety of responses. The one I saw the most though probably was Arkham Horror.
Yeah.
LCG specifically. Yep. We saw Cthulhu. Yep.
Yeah.
I did see Arkham Horror 2nd Edition that was on there as well, which is fun. Assassin's Creed was on there, Marvel Legendary, Cloud Spire, Cthulhu Death May Die. Lots of really good ones out there. So
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. No, not this
Marvel
one.
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary.
Yeah, Legendary was on there.
Yep. So, all right, let's move on to the
Oh, y'all can't hear me anymore?
next part of it.
Let me say we lost my mic.
You lost your mic.
No, it's right in front of you. I see it in the picture.
No, you don't. Doesn't exist.
It's not funny.
Fake news.
All right. Well, Colin, you're up next for our new category, the biggest surprise. And so yours was Dead Cells.
yes, I had no. This was a game that I backed last minute after watching Mike from One Stop's playthrough, and I don't know the theme or the video game at all. But I decided to just go for it, and I'm really glad I did. I can't believe how much fun my wife and I have been having playing this one. We even had Bairnt over, and he played with us. I think one of my favorite parts about this game is that it's a roguelike game. You're going through a dungeon, and you're trying to get to a boss and defeat it. Okay, if you do, then you unlock a whole new section of 2 biomes that you can go through. Okay, but if you die along the way, then you come back and you use the cells that you have found along the way, and you upgrade stuff. You either upgrade a board, which, by the way, is the coolest thing ever. It's this board that you open up, and it's got slots that you can put cards into. And so every time I play, I just open up that board. I'm like, oh, okay, so I've got a merchant level 2. I can either bring in a treasure or this thing. It shows you all that you need to know for your little campaign. But every time you play that campaign, you can play with different, beheaded, which are the characters, or you can play with different people. So like Bairnt came in, and we didn't have to reset the whole game. We could just play the way that it was, and then he helped us unlock some more stuff. And the next time I play, I can continue to do that. I love games that have that that change when you play it like that. But to not be limited to, well, I can only play this with these 3 people. So that means I can't play with other people. It's really nice to be able to just play with my kids one time, play with my wife one time, play with Bairnt. So yeah, it's really fun. The combat is a little wonky, but the game is really not all about the combat. It's much more about, hey, can I get through that biome? And then the boss fight is pretty cool. So definitely enjoy it. I enjoyed it way more than I was anticipating.
Awesome.
I've only done the demo of this one, like the first mission. I think I need to play more of this to try it out, because I think that's where it gets good. So did
Yes,
you say that,
when
Colin?
you do multiples, you got it.
Yeah, I did multiples, yeah. So
I agree. Dead Cells is good.
cool. I really want to try Dead Cells.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. I saw, Jan, you asked if anyone tried Cyberpunk 2077.
Backed
Is
it.
Or backed it. Is it because it might be similar to this, or no?
No,
No,
Just
I'm
rest-
just asking.
real live, real time game. Yeah,
Yeah, Colin backed it though.
Back to
So.
Colin?
yeah. I bet
We'll be playing it someday.
Yep.
2027.
I'll make him play with me. I'm gonna do an unboxing of it, and then in order for him to get it back, he's gotta play with me.
Okay, Bairnt, you're up next. And
I am. What did I put?
biggest surprise, Dawn of Madness.
Really? I put that?
Let me check. Maybe I screwed it up. Let me check.
No, I'm pretty sure you did. That's probably right. I don't remember what I filled out. I filled it out. Well, okay, so Dawn of Madness was the biggest surprise because first I didn't know exactly the state of the game when I was getting it, because I know that they completely redid it pretty much from the ground up. What I was really surprised by is how awesome the narrative in this game was. I know that the guy who did the narrative actually wrote books and things like this. Like this is his genre. He wrote Byron's actually wrote a whole he wrote a book actually based on this world, and it was a really good book too. So I was really excited to dig into this, and when I did, like Colin's heard the story. I think I told it on my stream a few times. When I put this game out, it filled my entire table, and I couldn't put the book down to record it. So I had to put it on a table next to me over here. And so then I propped my camera up and was reading it. And then I found myself getting, so in the book, when it's over here, my back is facing the stairs. And I was getting so freaked out at this story, this narrative in this game, because the writing is so good that I had to physically walk around the table and put the table over here then so I could see the stairs. I was afraid somebody would come down and stab, strangle, I don't know, mutilate, something. Or some like ungodly creature was going to slither its way down the stairs as I was reading this. I have a real active imagination, if you can't tell. I was super scared. So what really surprised me was not only did the gameplay work really well, but the narrative in it was super, super good. And it really, even though you could randomly kind of go to all these places, if you, as you're exploring it, you kind of explore, I'd say almost about three-fourths of the game as you play one of the groups, right? And so I was surprised that only going to all these random locations and doing random things, it still pieced together a really good story that has to be super hard to do when you don't have a like straight line narrative. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this was a super big surprise for me that it was as good as it was. I was really, really surprised by this one. And I will never play it again with my back to the stairs.
Make sure all your lights are on too.
Yeah, Bairnt, I agree with you. You are the one that talked me into getting this game. And I like it a lot. I'm waiting for Wave 2 to come to get the rest of the stuff. I wish. So this game's good. You don't need this, but I like to bling stuff or trick stuff out and see the amazingness of it. The one thing I wish this game had was audio narration so that Byron's true tension could come across, because you hear it in the voice acting work and all that other stuff. I think if somehow that's able to be done, like, this game will excel. It is a really good game. You are correct.
Cool. Good. Next person up will be Kim. Kim, your biggest surprise was Leviathan Wild.
Yes. So when you first told me about this game and you're like, here's what it is, here's what we're doing, I was like, all right, it's a book and you're going to do things. Because you have other like book games and they're more like, one of them was just a puzzle. It was very simple. But I was surprised about how much I really love this game and how more to it than I thought there was going to be.
Sure.
So I don't think I gave it enough credit at face value, and pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So this is a really fun one for me.
Yeah, this is a great game. Very solid. I really, really enjoyed this one as well. So it's very quick to get to the table, and the cooperation excels in this one, I think. So it's a great choice.
Oh yeah, and that's super. Not that it matters so much to me, but it's easy to get into on the table or get to the table. Setup's easy. But yeah, good game.
Cool. Good choice. All right, next game was chosen by two of us, Derrick and I. We both chose the same one as the biggest prize.
What?
Yep. And that is Bomb Busters.
So Bomb Busters is awesome when you have the right numbers.
Steve, you can take this one.
Bairnt. Too soon.
Too soon. It's almost 9 months.
No, that's a fun. So I purchased this kind of on a whim. Dom, who designed the Marvel United crossover campaign that Derrick and I have been playing with, he's the artist of this game, and he's one I brought to your attention. Like, oh yeah, I helped work on this game, and it's co-op. I'm like, done. That's all I need to know. So it's kind of a random buy. Picked it up, we played at Gen Con, and ever since then, it's been really fun. It's working. It's a great game. It has this interesting puzzle mechanic between the groups, and each time you have these different missions as you go. All you're trying to do is you're trying to like cut the wires cut all the wires. You have to do them in order without touching the yellow, or sorry, without touching the red.
No, you
wire.
don't have to cut them in order, but you don't want to.
Well, sometimes you do.
You don't want to cut the wrong wires.
Correct.
So it's a very fun one, and I like it that it's easy to play with what I would consider more non-gamers as well. So we've done that with a lot of my family members, and they all have a good time with it.
And it plays 5. It's a co-op game that plays 5.
Yeah.
Give me crap. It's just I hate us. Yes.
Yeah, the unlocks too. So it's not like, okay, you dump out the box and everything you're going to play is there. There's actually, you unlock things as you play the game to get to the game evolves more
Yeah.
the more you play, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a really fun one. So
It's a family game that's well worth its value.
I will say my kids who are 8 and 11 can play it as well. And yet
Yeah.
I can also play this with adults. And
Yeah.
both have really good experiences. So to me, that's also this was a really good choice because this is a good one.
Yeah. Definitely take a look at this one, especially if you like those party type games. This is probably the party. We don't have a party game category, but it'd probably be my choice for 2024. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I got two things real quick. One, in case people are thinking that I did Dawn of Madness and like, oh, that's super good, I should get that game. It's long. That's, as somebody mentioned here, the alternative board round table. It is a long game. It took me probably 6 hours, I think, to get through it. But there is a shorter version. Derrick, did you play the shorter version of that one?
I started it. I need to get back to it, and I plan to.
So that shorter version is probably I would say probably 3 to 4 hours. I'm guessing. And then the Bomb Buster game. I was going to say something about it, but I forgot now what the second thing was.
Well, I could jump to some of the community responses. So the game that was mentioned the most for surprise was also Bomb Busters, actually. So the community seemed to agree with us on that one. Tidal Blaze 2 was mentioned. Dodo's riding dinos. I don't know about this game. I gotta look it up though.
Yeah, that what?
Yeah, that's what my response too. Stalker was mentioned. Dragons Down. Leviathan Wilds was also mentioned. So lots of good stuff. So okay, let's keep going. Next category. Hold on 1 second. Check my notes. So as biggest surprise, I'm moving to biggest disappointment.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Derrick, we'll have you start off with Spark Riders.
Oh, good lord. Spark Riders 3000. Okay.
I don't even know what this is.
Good. Don't wipe it from your memory. Never think about it again after this conversation. Okay. There is a company who feels that app-based gaming is the way they want to make their games. This was their last game they did, which is Erune and all this, which is fine. App-based games exist, but this company tries to take it to the next level, which is you have to talk to the app.
No,
you can't type. You have to talk to it. So this game has a really cool premise. It's kind of your ship is flying from place to place, and you're getting attacked. You have engines that could take damage. You can build gun turrets on different parts of the ship. You can build up shields. It sounds cool, right? And I think it does. The thing that tanks this game is that app, because it's like, all right, well, the enemy attacks. So the app will say the enemy attacks right side. Okay, cool. So now I have to tell the app, right side, no shields. Your ship takes this much damage. The enemy attacks. Back engine 2 damage. It's destroyed. So you have to talk to the damn thing. And to me, I don't understand how that works, because in a worldwide release game, everyone has a different dialect, a different way of tone, a different everything. And it's it's not a fun experience. I don't want to say what I want to say. It's not a fun experience. I understand what they were going for, but it just, and I remember during the campaign I asked them, do I have to talk to the app? Can I just push a button or something to say what happens? And they were like, we're thinking about it, but then it never got implemented. And so the only way to play this game is to talk to the app. And that destroyed it. I immediately called it as soon as it came in. So it has great components. It has a great concept. The app just tanked it. And it's the same thing that happened with their previous game, Erune. The app tanked it. And I don't know, when someone has a vision and they're like, we're going to stay on this vision no matter feedback, I think you just got to pick and choose your battles and just say this isn't for you. I would not recommend this to Bairnt, Colin, Steve or Kim at
You
all.
know what you need to do, Derek? You need to go tell this company to go play Lifeline for the PS2 and see how they do. That was
Oh, I remember that
You know
game.
this game? That game actually, I finished this game. So the way what this game was pretty much exactly what Derek's talking about. It was like when the headset first came out for the PS2.
Yeah.
It was a game that you could hold down the button and you had to talk to, but you also had to control this character and like
Yep.
things would happen in the game. Like open the door. The shield is not available yet. I'm like, that's not what I said. I said open the door.
This app, it's just I get what the company's going for. I don't want to hate on them. I get their vision, but they need to re-strategize. It's not working. This is the second game they did this for. It's not working. So it's not working for me. Let me say that. I'm not going to say it's not working for everybody. It's not working for me. Anyway, that's my biggest disappointment.
No. Yeah, I remember playing Hirun with you, so that had some potential.
The app ruined it, right?
Ah, there you go. Nice.
Completed that game. I won Lifeline. I actually beat that game, and it was
After 10 minutes. I was like, nope.
Okay, Colin, got you next with your biggest disappointment, Mythwind.
Yes. Okay. So I had a lot of excitement for this one, and it's still a good game. Just for me, I think more of the disappointment is the fact that for me, I'm disappointed that I didn't like it, and I think that's because I apparently when I play board games, I need to have a goal. I need to have something driving me forward. And actually, I was going to mention that about Earthborn Rangers, Derek, is that I've played that with 3 different groups of people to try and play a campaign, and every time it's died because we haven't felt that urgency to move forward. And I apparently need that in a game, and that's good to know about me. And so I actually think the game is great. The components, I think Bairnt and I talked about it on our stream, that it's the fastest game to get to the table. You just pop it out because everything's on your player board. You can even just pop it into the box the way that it is. So it's got really cool ideas. It's just that there isn't really an end to the game, and there isn't a way to win or lose. And I don't know what, for me, why am I going to pull that out versus something like Mage Knight or something like Frostpunk or some other game? I won't, because I want to have a goal. And so the individual characters, really cool. They each have a unique mini game that you're playing. And you've got events that you're drawing. There's a main board that you go to, and you can put your, meeple or whatever it's called, miniature there, activate things, and you can work together-ish. But it didn't stick for me. So yeah, I was really bummed because it looks awesome. I love how it looks. So that was for me, Mythwind.
I'm with you. I tried it with Robin. I tried it with Colin both times. I kind of went, Robin even kind of said, like, what are we doing here? I'm like, just kind of doing the game. It's like, okay, I see that. Okay, that's cool. You and Colin can go play that now. I'm like, okay.
Colin, did you feel that way as well with Lands of Gilzir?
Yes.
Okay.
I have that in my sell pile. I played it 3 times with my kids. We played through a whole 4 seasons, and then they're like, "But Dad, what happens at the end?" I'm like, "Well, it's the story." But they just weren't interested. They want to know, well, at the end, did we win? Did we, And I think it's just a mindset thing. But I just can't change it, and that's fine. At least I know that about me.
Yep.
And some other people could really enjoy that. But for me,
nothing wrong with that at all. That's a preference.
Yeah.
And it's a really good point to bring up, for others to hear, right? Because if they have similar experiences, then they know to avoid those types of games, right? So
Exactly.
Yep. Good. Okay. Next one was Bairnt.
What I put?
Harakiri.
Oh, I put Hayakari or Hurakari.
Harakiri.
The reason why this was my biggest disappointment is not because the game. The game's actually pretty cool. And it's in a theme that I really like. But I am disappointed in how much of a non-editing this thing went through. There is like this is probably one of the worst edited games I've ever seen. I'm waiting for the update pack. Yes, I did back. So I enjoy the game so much that I did back the next part that comes with an updated like pack that has all the things all the like errors and stuff they kind of are redoing. They're refixing them all. I mean, they have like so I mean, even on the main action of one of the characters. On one side, it says like, "Oh, you get you get a like an advantage when attacking with a bow." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Let's see what the back says. You get an advantage when attacking with a wob or something." I'm like, "How? What? Why is this? What's a wob? Like they spell bow backwards. It's like,
Okay.
but it's the same." But everybody else, it's the exact same thing on both sides. But that one, nope, they spelled the word completely wrong. I'm like, on your very first action you're going to get on your character, you think that every person that has played this game, even through testing, would have noticed that was not. I even noticed. I know my name right half the time, right? So I mean, and like some of the event cards, and they even reached out to him, asked him what, or I said like, yeah, I'd love to do this game for you because they did send me a copy. I also do have my own copy of the game. It's actually right back here behind my Slayers thing, but they sent me a copy, and I have my own. I said that twice, so I'm repeating myself. And they said like, oh, we really want you to do the standalone mission number 16. I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't what I was planning on, but sure. And so I get done with the first part of the mission, and I'm like, well, we got to see all the cool things. I never really got to see card L. I'm not sure what card L is, but maybe that's something we didn't do. And then they messaged me and goes, oh, card L was supposed to be on node 16 in that one. We printed the wrong map in there. That was like the playtest map. We didn't put the real map in the book. What? How did you? Really? You like forgot to update your book, like the scenario book, to have the correct map in it? So that's what my disappointment was the fact that they didn't go through and like really give it a good, like, there were just so many errors in the game. And so, like I said, I have the second edition coming with all the new stuff and all the fixed components. So the game, I think, is good. I just, right now where it stands, it can be a little rough. I mean, unless you're okay with not understanding why there's a legion of foot soldiers coming at you while you're fighting a fish, because it just happens that which is out of control. I mean, it even said like, you plunge your spear into the fish, and as you do that, the shogun's forces are marching upon the battlements, and your forces stand ready, and then you cook it up in your frying pan. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Why? Where did these things? So I'm guessing in somewhere in the book, shogun forces are marching upon some fortress, and they're going to have a sentence about eating a fish.
Sounds like one of those prime examples of we'll test in production.
Yeah.
Never works out well for anyone.
That's the model year update. That's what you'll get.
I'll let the community find all our mistakes. We'll put an update pack out.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to feel like we're talking about work here, because in real life, doesn't that happen a lot? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we just stuff in production.
Oh, that's
No, that doesn't happen in my job very often. We don't learn from our mistakes in the operating room very often.
That's a good point. You don't have that. We definitely do.
You probably should learn from your mistakes in the operating room.
Mistakes in the operating room.
We don't make mistakes in the operating room.
Gotcha.
All right, keep going. So, my biggest disappointment, people are like, oh my god, Fate Forge. And I say this not because the game is bad. I say it because coming into it, my expectations and coming out of it was the biggest difference for me, right? Because everyone was talking this game up. Amazing game. I was really excited to try it out. And the puzzle part of it, the actual gameplay of it, is great. I really enjoy that part of it. That's awesome. I think it's the stuff outside of it that dragged it down for me. And it had a lot to do with the tiles and putting the tiles out there and stuff like. I feel like find the right tile to put on the board to build this map out. I feel like there have been solutions to solve that and take away from the fiddliness of that. That kind of just dragged it down for me. Like I felt like I was taking a step backwards just instead of a step forward. And then the other thing that got me was the shields, where I had a character with a special ability, but I need to know what people roll for dice. But we had shields. I can't see. I'm like, well, what's the point of this? You know, like, ah! So, I don't know. I was expecting to like it more than I did, and I was just disappointed I didn't. I guess
There's a common thread.
Yeah. But I mean, it is a good game. Like the puzzles are really fun. If you provide me if this was more of a puzzle book with, hey, here's the characters on this map, and it's more of like a Sudoku, I can write on it, draw on it, and solve these puzzles, I would love it. Great. But it's just like how it was implemented, the stuff outside of it that just pulled it down. So
The challenge aspect of this game that a lot of people love, I don't.
Oh, you don't like the puzzle part of it?
I don't like you have to get through it in 3 turns.
Oh,
in
fair.
3 rounds, or you have to get through it in 5. I don't know. Like there's something that's great about building tension in a game, which is really good and necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another thing that's kind of trying to rush me through too fast. The second edition did that, where it's like you have enough time to just get to the boss or get to the end of the zone, but you can't explore the area. That's what this game felt like. So I agree with you.
Sure. See that too. Okay. Last one to talk about.
Sure.
Kim has things to say, she says.
So people are gonna be like, "What?"
Curb thy tongue.
I know. No. Okay.
Okay, you chose Ashes. Why did you choose Ashes for this?
Well, because it's a lot of what people have already said, where I'm disappointed in myself that I don't like it as much as you like it, because you would play this all the time, but I would rather play something else. I'll play it with you, but there's other stuff. So it's not a bad game. I'm not bashing the game. I'm just disappointed in myself for not having the same enthusiasm about it. And I think during this chat, it's because it's an LCG. When I go back and I think about all the games that I'm like, they're all LCGs. So that's what I think I come to realize, that
even this one, well, you don't have to change the deck at all?
I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to make sense of my logic.
Like,
I don't know. I don't know, Steve. It's just I wish I loved it as much as you did.
But yeah, I think you're right.
But I like the game. It's a good game, and I will play it. And like some of the characters, I'm like, yeah, this is sweet. This is totally me. Big kapows, gamma slams, great. I just don't know what. I won't suggest to play it.
I have seen that with the LCGs with you. I think, and it does have the LCG vibe for sure.
Yeah,
so I totally get that.
So maybe that's what it is.
Yep.
But I'm
Steve,
sorry.
Steve, weren't you going to introduce Kim to well, I think she's played it before. Kim, I think you played it before, but weren't y'all going to take a relook at Lord of the Rings?
Yes. And I said I would. And now after we go through these games, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want to commit to that.
I don't think I'm gonna. If you don't like it, you don't have to play it. So it's fine.
But no, that's the thing. I like the games. I like playing them. But let me go play Isolfarian, or let me go play Marvel or whatever. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
But not Marvel Champions.
Not Marvel Champions.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah.
The reason y'all don't like Marvel Champions makes no sense to me.
What?
It's the exact same as it's the exact same as any boss you fight.
Every other game does the same thing. I don't know, Derek, what it is.
The pacing. The pacing.
Yeah.
You like games that your goal in the game is not to progress the story? That's your favorite game? That's
Yep.
Not to progress the story. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you don't want the guy to progress. So
Yeah.
Your job.
Well,
But
also,
I do beat the boss.
There's no
And
story.
then he's like, psych.
well, also stop him from doing.
Well, you
anything,
don't beat him. He heats up, so he just flips over and he heats up, and you fight him again. So it's the same thing that happens in every fight. It's the same thing that happens in every
not that, it's
boss
doesn't have to
fight
make sense,
game you
Derek.
play.
It's that plus what Bairnt said, which is
Bairnt is saying that he doesn't love that, in Lord of the Rings and Arkham, you're progressing through the story. You're trying to move through the story. In Marvel, I'm trying to stop that agenda or whatever it's called from moving forward. And so he doesn't love that you can get into the stagnant, when we've had this when we've played with Bairnt. Every single time, where we're doing a little bit of damage to the boss, but we're mostly just preventing the story from moving forward to their next agenda card. And so we just kind of keep doing the same thing over and over. And we're slowly dealing damage.
bored.
But
versus
you do that
Arkham or Lord of the Rings, you're pushing through to that next agenda card.
You get enough clues, you get to flip the card, and you get to know what continues in the story. Where in the
on a story-based game, yes, this is a boss battler. It's completely different. It's like saying
The
you're playing.
longest,
It's like
most
saying you're
boring
playing
boss
KDM.
battler I have ever played in my entire life.
It's like you're saying you're playing KDM and you're not moving the story forward, so it's boring.
You are
Your
moving.
job is not to move the story forward; it's to beat the boss. Like that's
So
Marvel.
you can go to the settlement phase and all experience all the cool things. Out of
Now,
the story.
now that I'll agree with. If you're like, there's not more to it than
So if
just
there was
fighting a
more to Marvel
boss.
Champions to just beat the boss, and
That
that
I
doesn't
can
do
agree with
anything
that.
except
I
slash
can
you
agree
with
with
your-
that. I
make
can
your-
agree with that.
That's all it does. Like, oh hey, you're gonna take a point of damage. Okay, then you flip, and then you get this.
Yeah.
And
No, I see
then
where
if
you're going. You
then
want more to
fight,
it.
and, like your
You
guy,
want
like
more to it.
and the guy draws like 5 cards, and he plays 2 of them, and he draws 4 more cards to play 2 of them, and then he draws 6 more cards, and you're over there going, "I'm gonna attack him." It's not your turn yet. Sweet.
Yep.
Bairnt may have an opinion on that game.
No, I think
I have
my-
played this game 3 times. I've walked out on 2 times.
yeah, I could see
Walked out.
I could see what you're saying, and I agree with you saying that it's not. That's all there is to it. There's not more. You wish there was more. I can see that.
Okay. That, by the way, that wasn't my biggest disappointment because I didn't play it this year.
Oh gosh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the quitter we might be talking about a little bit later. So, okay. Community said there's no everyone's all over the place for this one. Some games mentioned Dawn of Madness, Stars of Icarios, the Dead Keep, Simon just in general. Just Simon in general.
Just see.
Yep. Mass Effect, Chronicles of Drunagor, and yeah, so all over the place on that one. So that's right.
We never played that not recorded on the channel. It could have been a lot different.
That's the thing is, yeah,
Yep.
I think we ruined our experience just from the way we did
Exactly. We discovered, in case you can't tell, we never do edited videos together anymore because every time we did that, we always didn't like the game. And so when we play them live and we're not trying to get everything perfect with every rule, I mean, we're trying, but we're going to make mistakes. And you're not trying to say everything perfectly because you can just imagine what it's like trying to get Bairnt to say the right words. It doesn't happen.
I've never seen a human roll on the floor in laughter like Colin did while we were trying to record a couple of our games.
Oh my gosh. We're trying to pronounce names of certain things. I was
So
like, Bairnt, that's not how you say that. It was so good. Anyways, so to be fair, Chronicles of Drunagor, I don't think we gave a good enough whatever, but we ended up selling it. We got tons of the games.
You two are not the only ones who've told me that was a kind of a little disappointing game. I don't think it's like, it's like, oh, it's just this microcosm of you two saying it's not good. I've heard a lot more people saying it could have been way better than it was.
What's next, Steve?
Hidden gems next. So games that you think should have gotten more attention than they have. And it's kind of hard to pick because it's hard to let's get a lot of attention, did not. I'm not sure, but it's our best attempt at these. So, Derrick, you had A Gentle Rain listed for yours.
This game should be in everybody's collection. It is like a 5-minute game. It comes in.
It's not like Hard Rain, is it?
Isn't that
That's a sequel.
That's an old movie. That's an old movie, isn't it?
It's a video game that's absolutely amazing, by the way.
So this is A Gentle Rain. This is it. It is a 5-minute game. It is ridiculously relaxing. You're basically placing tiles to try to build out these different lilies that form on this pond. And it's a matching game that builds up, but there was a reprint that was made by Incredible Dream, who got the rights and then reprinted it. It's a game that came out, but this year it got reprinted and released. It's a very relaxing game if you don't want anything too heavy by Kevin Wilson. And if you're ever just kind of like, I want to play a game, I want it to be a short, quick game, and I'm not trying to burn my brain on rules or anything, a Gentle Rain is the way to go. It's just relaxing. It's fun. It's a solo game, and it's, to me, it's a hidden gem that doesn't get enough. It doesn't get enough love for how really simple and good it is.
Cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about this, and I know Snow mentioned in the comments here that's been pretty popular with the solo community, so for sure. Okay, next one we have for Hidden Gem is Colin, and I actually don't know anything about this one, Colin.
Oh, it's
so,
very hidden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our
You
theory
don't know anything about this one?
I don't know what it is yet. It doesn't come up on my screen yet.
Tales of the Arabian Nights
Oh, I've heard
is
this one.
a game
Arthurian
back
Nights, right?
from- What?
Yeah,
Yeah, but wait,
not
Jimmy?
Arabian Nights. No, he's thinking that's a movie.
No, Tales of the Arabian Nights is the
okay.
original game that came out in like 2011 or
Oh,
2012.
okay.
And they revamped this to Tales of the Arthurian Nights. So it's in the Arthurian world, and you can actually play cooperatively with this one. Tales of Arabian Nights, you're all going on your own stories, and you were trying to get the most points. This one, you can actually go on these adventures. Now you're still going on the adventures kind of on your own. You know, each of you are going to be basically doing a choose your own adventure, right? You go to a location, you have an event, and you'll draw one card and another card. You put the two together. It'll tell you what number to go to in the book. You read some really good writing, and then you have to use your skills to try and pass a test. And then if you pass it or not, you get destiny points. And at the end of the game, you try and score as many destiny points as you can for the difficulty level that you're playing if you're playing cooperatively. You can also play competitively where you try and play against each other. But for me, I will never play a competitive narrative game because that doesn't make any sense. In my opinion, I'd way prefer to play a co-op one because I want to root for you in your story. I don't want to be like, die. I want to be like, yeah, do it. And the storyline is great. It is definitely a choose your own adventure, meaning that you're going to go to a spot, you're going to have quests, up to 2 quests that you can hold at a time. And then every time you complete quests, you'll get new ones, and they might have you go to certain locations or have certain unique events happen to you. You can actually have large group quests that you work on together. Yeah, it's really fun. What's his name? The guy who made Dungeon Alliance was the one that worked on this. And he said it was about 4 or 5 years of work, and it is worth it. It's really good. So if you like narrative games, this is a high recommend. But you can actually win this one, unlike the Lands of Galzir or something like, or Mythwind. So yeah, enjoy this one a lot.
Sorry, Sean's got a great comment there. Sorry.
Oh.
Competitive narrative? I crushed reading that passage. I rule, you drool.
Exactly. I mean, some people enjoy that. Like, oh, I'm going to have a better story than you. I don't know. I mean, it's totally fine. It just doesn't work for me. I'd prefer to, when I'll play this with my kids, I'd like to be rooting them on in their story, right? So yeah. Anyways, it's a good one, and it's in the Arthurian world. So you're knights at the round table, which is fun.
That's cool.
And like I said, the writing is phenomenal. So high recommend.
Awesome.
Yep, choose your own adventure, the board game, basically.
Pretty much. And the tome is about this big, right? And it's really good writing. Andrew Parks, that's his name. That's the guy. And yeah, it's great.
Cool. Bairnt, you are up next. You chose
Nice.
Conquest
I know
Princess.
what I put for this one. For this one, I put Conquest Princess because this game is awesome and it gets like no traction anywhere. So don't let the box fool you, which is what I'm sure it does. It kind of looks like, oh, it's this cutesy little space adventure game. No, actually, this is like a puzzle game where you're actually controlling four characters, and each of them have a special ability that you can use. And actually, this game is basically all this game is like cooperation. It means this game equals cooperation, which is one of the coolest things about it. Everything you're doing, you can do with other people. So like you're on a person square, you can use their ability with and then that, and so, and you have these little okay, anyway, this game's super awesome. It has a lot of nostalgic components that remind you of things that you grew up in the 80s and 90s, which is kind of cool. So Colin wouldn't get any of them. And then, well, come on, unless it's a song. Which actually you'd probably get some.
That is the most low key shade I've ever heard thrown.
For example, the intro mission is called what is it? It's saving. You have to save. Who's the guy? Kobayashi Maru is marooned. The thing is called Kobayashi Marooned, and you got to save the Captain Kobayashi, who's marooned on a planet, which is of course based on the
That's
Star
awesome.
Trek. Kobayashi Maru is like the thing that Kirk cheated in order to become like when he did his like captain thing or whatever. Anyway, and he has a lot of those. Then that's just one of the things they have in it. So in this game, just because I've kind of been circling around it, you're cooperating to try to, it's hard to explain because it's just this awesome puzzle is really all it is. And and it's a bag building game, but it's a unique bag builder in the fact that as you're pulling tokens out, they don't go back in. You have to do things to get those tokens back in. So if you're getting a lot of hits, eventually your bag becomes almost all misses, and you're going to start missing or getting critical misses and things like this. But if you get a critical miss, you might actually want to put that out on your board instead of putting it back in, which is going to limit the amount of stuff you can do on your player board. But then it's not in the bag to draw later. And so it's a unique little bag building and refilling kind of concept, which is pretty cool. The components are awesome. You have your ship that is trying to preserve the timeline is kind of how this game goes. It does have I think it's a 5-mission campaign. They can all be played as standalone missions. And like one of them you're fighting is one of the missions is kind of like Space Invaders, where these like things are coming down. You got to stop them from coming down and beating up the ship and everything. The other one's like a millipede, so it's kind of like Centipede, where it's like you've got these things that go back and forth across, and you got to try to shoot these things up to get the crystals out of it. Oh, Derrick, this game has pets. You can get a pet. It's awesome.
Oh, sign me up. I will burn it immediately.
But and the pets, of course, have their own little properties that can help. Each character is completely different. And then, of course, if you get enough of these superpower tokens, you can put in a certain command on your player board, because you it's also got like this programming element where you program in your what you're planning to do for the round. If you put in the right program, you can like transform and kind of like almost what's that show called?
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon, thank you. Just like Sailor Moon, and you're kind of like turns into like all of a sudden gets like a real superpower, and they have like you can put on these little awesome like glowing stands that like light up and all this stuff. It's really cool. So yeah, Conquest Person was. I also know the designer. He's a really nice guy. I've met him many times. Super cool guy, and he's made a super cool game. This I think is by Fight in the Box. They've made a lot of other stuff, but this is really the shining gem of their game collection.
Yeah, this one definitely I think it's overlooked just because of the box and the theme and everything. But it's a fun game. I agree with you, Bairnt. It's good.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let me jump to my hidden gem, Leviathan Wilds. I think this one is popular, but I'm not. I think this one's like a top tier game, honestly. Like the presentation, the cooperation of this game, just all the details of how they put together this game is excellent. And I've play tested a bit of the upcoming expansion, and they know what they're doing. Mooncrab Games, who are the publishers of this one, definitely be on the lookout for their content or their products, because excellent quality game, really really fun stuff. So I can't say enough high praise about this. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Well, you were talking about earlier though too, so yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah.
All right, Kim. I'm glad you put this on your list, because this was also one I was considering for hidden gem.
We have a lot of similarities.
We do.
I can't help it. And like we said, I don't know how hidden this actually would be, because I really don't go to BGG.
It's fairly hidden.
So
in
it's like I
yeah.
don't know what the community as a whole is like. Really like, oh, this is great. This is my reference right here.
I'm sorry.
So like, so anyway, I had a great time, and I still would, I'll ask to play this game, which is what typically for him, it's like, oh, I found one that she likes. Let's do it. So yeah, if you don't know the IP, I still think it's fun. If you don't like blood and gore, maybe don't show it in front of your kids. But yeah, it's a fun game in which you get to have the big gamma slams, and then you get to be your support characters, and at the cooperative play where you can like, I can choose to help Steve, or I can choose to beat up this guy. Like, anyway, fun. This is a good one for me.
I like how the tableau building makes it feel different every time too.
Yeah, and this is the card game that I wouldn't call it a card game per se, but there's card
Tableau
and deck building that I really really like.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it really really surprised me how much we enjoyed this one. It's a great game.
Yeah, yep. Sean, see, that's the judgment right there.
Yes, for sure.
Yep.
Kim, you and Monica have very similar tastes because she absolutely loves Invincible. We just played it a couple of days ago because she asked to play it. So good choice. That's a great one.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. Really fun. Okay, so let's look at, or talk about, as to say.
Steve, are you excited that everyone understood what the category was this time? For those of you that don't know, the first time we ever did this, Steve, I think it was maybe Steve and I doing this, and I was like, oh, I got this hidden gem. And you're like, I don't, what's your hidden gem? And I told him my hidden gem. How is that a hidden gem? Like, everybody knows that game. I'm like, well, because it's got such neat mechanics. That's not the category.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's
We're
a tough
learning.
one to pick. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Leviathan Wilds was mentioned. Union City Alliance was mentioned, which I think is another really good hidden gem for sure. Creel Manor was mentioned multiple times. I was mentioned the most, I'd say. Dodo's Riding Dinos was also on this, which I hadn't even looked up this game.
Hasn't it come up twice now?
It has.
Okay, we have to look into this.
Nanolith and Dungeon Universalis. So lots of writing games I've mentioned from our community. So okay, getting towards the top of the list. Next category is expansions, best expansion, and we'll start off with Derrick with his best expansion.
I actually have 3 now.
What?
But I'll just talk about it.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay. Derrick, here you go. Marvel United, of course, multiverse.
Enough said.
Move on.
It was the pets that sold you,
want to
right?
know, if you would like to know more, Kim, Steve, and I are playing a massive campaign the second time around with an even bigger map. So enough said.
Yeah, they did a really good job with this one.
Yeah, they have one fault in this entire massive expansion. One fault.
You got to tell us what's the one fault. What's the one fault?
Pats. They're pointless. They're dumb.
I don't use pets either. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So I have a different fault for this one.
Okay.
The campaign. Like half the campaign decks in this are competitive.
I haven't even opened the campaign stuff yet, so I don't even know.
I was real disappointed when I saw that. I'm like, oh.
They're competitive. That's
competitive campaigns?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like when I played when I got my forgot like the storybooks for what do you call it, Nemesis, and the first one was like, oh, you get to do this cooperative campaign to play through Nemesis. I'm like, that's pretty awesome. Then all the ones they brought out were like semi-cooperative. I'm like, no.
Oh, I know that God, I forgot his name, but there is a homebrew creator who is making campaigns for Marvel United that is cooperative, and he's done 3 of them so far. So the homebrew community is on it.
I mean, there's like you said, there's so much campaigns out there. We're playing one now anyway, so I'm not worried about that whatsoever.
But that's disappointing that people expected something different, and that's
because it's a co-op game, right? And so why would you? Well, I guess there's some competitive.
Well, they did Civil War, which is supposed to, which is the
and
only
teams.
thing, and I think
and team versus team, the
Red versus blue? No, that's something else.
Oh my gosh, that show's so good.
Yeah.
Is that Halo?
Yes, have you ever seen that show? I think it's like, I want to say something red chicken or red rooster or something. Oh my gosh, I was just showed that to my son and he died laughing, and he's like, but now he watches it all. He watched all of it. Red versus blue.
Yeah. This is an easy enough said. Kim, Steve, and I talk about this game constantly, so we don't need to rehash it here.
Yeah, for sure. But Sean is asking about the co-op campaigns specifically for you.
Well, if you go onto Co-op Guild or this other channel with this bum that just kind of tags along with the cool people at Co-op Guild,
what
that they're playing a campaign. They're playing a campaign that was a map created by Dom, and we're now using an app written in Vite, a React-based application that was created by Phil to track our entire campaign progress. And you could check that out. If you go to either one of those channels, there's the massive Co-op Guild and then the tiny unknown channel of Kanji Studios, and you can go there and
the same size.
and scroll down. You will see the playlist of all of the campaign that we're presently doing. Kim and Steve play Monday. I play Tuesdays at noon.
But Sean is asking about the new campaigns, the other ones, not the multiverse ones.
Which one? The ones that come in the new
The community one, based ones that the people are creating.
There is a sorry, it's now changed its name to Come On United because of DC Discord that you can join, and in there's a homebrew section, and there is like you can go nuts with the different ones that are on there. But there is a specific, I will get his name at some point, but because he's good, Rick Nichols. Rick Nichols. If you go on the Come On United Facebook page, Rick Nichols, he created a lot of cool stuff. He actually created a new threat that was Prowler from
cool.
Into the Spider-Verse that you can replace any threat, and he's basically creating hired thugs or hired henchmen that you can add to the game, to any game that you're playing, to make it very modular. And Prowler was the first one that he did. That's pretty cool. So Facebook, the Come On United Facebook, Rick Nichols. But yeah.
Move on to Colin. So I had to, when I saw Colin, you put this down, I had to look and like, what year is this? Because I copy pasted it into my previous script, and you chose the exact same game for this year's last year. And that
I'm
isn't settled.
Well, there's 2 new planets out for this year. And
I mean, it works. It definitely works.
Yeah. And I'm cheating because I haven't even played those 2 new planets. So can I even say that? But I really just want to talk about Unsettled because I love this game so very, very much. And I was very disappointed that Derrick over here sold his copy and now can't play the 2 new planets. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this is a game where there's different planets that you go to. I like how they have set up this game itself where you have a core box. Actually, it makes me think of, what's that game that Cowboy something or another that they made? Whatever, it doesn't matter. They give you a core box and then you can keep getting planets. So you can get the planets that you're interested in. Right?
Is that Shadows and Brimstone? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's like Cowboy Bebop made it. It's the one where you have, you've got the cards that lay out on the table and you all go to one specific spot and you look at it, because you get, okay, it doesn't matter. That's a totally different game. Totally different game. Basically, Unsettled, you're going to different planets. You're exploring them and having to complete a puzzle cooperatively, and it's great. And they just came out with 2 more planets. So now you have 11 planets, each with a minimum of 3 tasks. So that's a lot of replay in that game, in my opinion. Because I think that was a little light when the game first came out, especially if you just got the core box and only had 2 planets in it. But now with 11 different planets, I'm over the moon. But definitely
Wow.
love
Dad joke. Dad joke for sure.
Planets, so it was a stretch.
Come on, that was good, wasn't it?
You knocked me to the mat on that one.
Wow. I'm so good. I'm sorry. But regardless, I love this. I love the game, and I'm really excited to explore those planets.
It's a cool game. I think my thing of it is that after I play the planet once, I'm done. And that's the reason why I called it. But I get why you love it. It is an amazing adventure.
Did you only do each task once, or did you? I mean, one task, or did you do all 3 tasks?
I did 2 per planet.
Okay.
And I did get to play the one that y'all played with Luna being bad.
Yes.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Next on the list, I got Bairnt. He chose Isofaring Guard, and I'm guessing he put this because of the upgrade pack.
Yeah. Well, I put that on, because I was looking through and I was like trying to figure out what expansions came out for all my games and that I've actually played. And this one I actually did play. Like I was gonna.
Unlike Colin.
I was gonna put down something like because there was a couple expansions that came out for Kingdom Death, which are pretty cool, the Frog Dog and the Black Knight, but I didn't play them, so I was like, I really can't say anything about them. I didn't know the requirement was you just had to have them in your possession.
No, just the best expansion for this year. That's fine. Whatever. Yeah.
So it's the upgrade pack. It helped a lot. Madara also had an upgrade pack, which I also was thinking about putting on here as well. They had a 1.3, which really made things different. So that was another one I was going to put on here because I did play that one as well. But this one I think this one gives so many more unique things to it that I thought it was more important to talk about.
Yeah, this is a good they did a lot of really nice things for this upgrade for sure.
Thanks, Ralph. I'm glad I update. I'm glad I don't know where you ever lost faith in me, but
That happens on a daily occurrence. So I understand, Raphael.
big news, Colin.
Ice Guard's fantastic. Adding the ability to skip over battles was really nice. It sped up the game quite a bit. Though we found out that Kim chooses violence anyway, so we wound up fighting regardless. But
Why
whatever.
pass an opportunity to get unless you're dead and I have to drag you?
What are you talking about?
We need to hear. Oh my god!
What are you talking about?
All the time, saving his butt.
It
No,
is
was
sad
really
you
fun.
have to rest at an inn. I'm like, oh, I'm wasting resources to rest at an inn.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah,
right.
he's just mostly dead.
Oh, good stuff. All right, the next game, we actually aligned on. So I didn't tell you my list, but we actually picked the same thing as we went through our games we played.
Yeah,
And so best expansion Kim and I both picked was boss battles.
but I have more.
Yeah,
But yes, we'll talk about this one.
Okay, we'll talk about this first. Keep the Issues Out was a really good game. Boss battles took this game to the next level. Like, it is a must-buy expansion. I've said that a lot. I will keep saying it. It makes the game amazing. The rookies let you adjust the difficulty to whatever you need to, whether playing with kids or you can play a really hard game with adults. You can totally do both just by adjusting that count. It also changed it from a passive game into an active game, meaning that like instead of just trying to survive for 2 waves, I'm trying to survive to the second wave and destroy the boss. Getting back to Derrick's comments, I think this is kind of the difference in Marvel Champions.
Oh god, we're gonna talk about this again.
Nope, just mentioning it.
Okay.
That's it. Just mentioning it as an active game. So, but the deck building is fun in this one too because the rookies help with that. The factions are really fun. The fact you have an overlord and minions, which have a strong cooperation element between them, and yeah, we played through all this content. It was excellent. I can't wait for more.
Yeah, and I chose this over all the others which have been mentioned. So Marvel, Derrick covered it. Isofarian, Bairnt covered it. Robinson Crusoe also really high up there. That was an expansion this year, right? No, what did we play?
You can consider
Where'd
expansion,
Jenny
yes.
come from? That's all I want to know.
Jedi.
So, but this one is top tier for us, I think, because it hits the table more frequently, and we can bring our son with us to play the game.
Yeah.
And that's big in this house. So
For sure.
thoroughly love this game. My latest favorite character is the unicorn. I just run and stab
Run,
people
poop.
and then drop some presents.
That's right. Some rainbow
So,
presents.
yeah. Yep.
So yeah, good stuff. What were the other games you want to mention?
Did you not listen to anything
Oh,
I
those.
just said?
Just those. Okay. I thought you had something else. Sorry.
I almost was going to myself from
That's true.
all of my miniatures.
You can see how much
That's great.
The community sent a wide variety. The most common one that was referenced was Marvel United as a bit of this expansion. So definitely aligning with you, Derrick, on that one.
They're saying they can't hear Bairnt
Why can't you?
or Derrick.
You should. I don't.
Oh,
Can you
can you hear me
hear-
talking right
Oh,
now?
Baron's not. His audio's not
Yeah.
coming through for some reason.
Well, what'd you do,
Oh, that's
Steve?
working. That's
Oh.
working.
Can hear everyone but Bairnt now.
Yeah. I
Oh,
can hear you
so
now.
that's
I don't know what
plus.
happened, Baron, but now I'm talking.
I think we'll all be happy if we can't hear Baird. That's okay. Just his mouth
It's a
moves,
team
you know?
meeting. No.
Yeah, if you see me or Colin laugh and you don't hear us, it's because we're on mute. That's why we're trying not to interrupt when people are talking about their,
Exactly.
their pick.
I do.
Yeah, sometimes where the audio is messy, I guess. Baron, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
Predator
Yeah.
Network.
Network. Could be network.
I have a way of finding out.
All right. Expansion stuff. So, not expansion. Yes, Marvel Knight was mentioned. Deep Rock was on there, which I was on my honorable mention for best expansion because that expansion added a ton to the game. It was
Say
amazing.
it's not mute.
Cthulhu Death May Die was mentioned. Hexplorit. Unsettled was on there as well, so you're not alone, Colin. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff. Okay. Now we're on to the big one. Game of the year.
It's another motion, Colin, you shouldn't do.
Oh, which is United Spencer? You had to pick one. Definitely Maximum Carnage. Would you agree, Derrick?
I don't have one yet because I haven't played it all.
Okay.
So I'm gonna wait until I get through.
Just the sheer replayability of that one is.
Yeah, I mean that's in the running, but yeah, until I play everything,
Sure.
I don't have a comment.
Okay, I do want to do another audio check.
Check.
We
check
know
one,
Bairnt
two.
jumped out to try to get fixed.
Yeah, I got Ann back in a second. Here.
He's
And you guys
back.
let us know, verify in the chat that we know Bairnt's gone for a minute, but everybody else you can hear.
Give me 1 second. I can fix it while we go through.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right, that should fix.
Even Kim, can you hear me?
That's right. Dad says we're good. Okay,
Okay, cool.
thank you. Just making sure.
Did I win? Am I back?
Yeah, is Colin or is Bairnt back?
I'm back. Okay.
Hey, let's see audio moving.
It's
There's
DSL.
DSL from the basement.
Not have DSL.
Okay. Let's go on to Game of the Year. Okay, so
So glad you're driving this. Okay, so from what I see on this computer screen is Steve is just like jumping tab to tab. It's like do. I'm like, bless you.
Steve, this is if I remember your form, on the form you said co-op game of the year, right? Or was this game of the year?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Because I think I did two, right? I did a game of the year and then I did a co-op game of the year.
so. Everyone listed 2.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Literally everyone listed 2,
Okay.
Okay.
Rules,
Okay.
Steve.
Okay.
which is fine. I'm just
Okay,
let it
okay,
happen.
okay,
So don't worry about it. So, like, it's funny how like no one coordinated that, but it all happened. So yeah, we'll start with you, Derrick. You're 2. Oh, no, sorry, not Derrick. Sorry, Colin. I have Colin's first. Sorry.
Colin's first.
With 2 games of the year. So, and I have these in specific order because there's a little bit of overlap. So, Colin, you chose Tidal Blades and Primal.
Yes. Okay. So my number one is definitely Primal, but just like right there was Tidal Blades. But I love boss battlers and I love card and hand management. How can you not like Primal? Those two things together are amazing. Yeah, the crafting experience wasn't the greatest for us. Now, I do think that has to do with the fact that we're playing live. If Bairnt and I weren't trying to play that live and we were just sitting down and we crafted more, I think that would have been more of an enjoyable thing. And the story, we stopped reading it. I didn't really care much about the story. But my goodness, the gameplay is amazing. And if you want to see Bairnt die in every episode except for one, he literally gets KO'd in every episode. Oh, yeah, let me do this. Oh, you're dead, dude.
That's because he sets me up.
I don't do anything. He does it
Sets
himself.
me up. You know, you could do this if you wanted to. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Okay, good. You trigger these 3 cards.
Yes, that is one of the most unique things about the game. The boss doesn't have its own turn. Now, it's exhausting to try and track that, though, because it reacts to what you do, and sometimes it can do reaction after reaction after reaction. It can get to be a lot, but you just have to run with it and be okay with sometimes you're going to miss it, and that's fine. The card play mechanic is wonderful. Every character is 1,000,000,000% different from each other, which is so cool. And you have different trees of paths that you can go down to level up and get different masteries. I love it. As a game, I'm never getting rid of. I love playing this so much. I just can't wait to play it again more. So that's Primal. Tidal Blades 2, that's an adventure style game. Absolutely love the experience of playing that with this Nexus board. So there's a Nexus board. It's a 3x3 grid. Every turn, you're going to be playing one card on there, and then you're going to activate either the row or the column. And you are slowly upgrading your Nexus board, but then once you activate a row that has all the cards on it, boom, all those cards clear. So you've got all these juicy choices in it. Not to mention it's a very colorful map, a colorful world. And so it's very kid-friendly. My kids love this because of that. I will say at my 8-year-old, it does get a little long when you're playing with 4 people because there is an initiative track that can change. And so sometimes he may be first in one round, and then if he takes a slower card, he might it might be a long time before he goes again, right? So just be careful with kids. But it's so good. It's so good. The dice are fun. The Nexus board is fun. The enemies are easy to activate, and you're playing on a book. And so many times it'll go, oh, hey, after this thing happens, turn to this page, and all of a sudden, boom, something changes that you don't know about, and I love that. So, and you can do that with a book, and it's a lot harder to do that with tiles per se. So, yeah, those are my 2 games of the year for sure.
I would say that hashtag Colin made me upgrade Tidal Blades too, because I watched his playthrough and I was like, I'm fine with standees, and then he was like, no, you gotta get these in his playthrough. He's like, look at how colorful these things are, they're so amazing, and I'm like, I hate you. and I ended up, I have this game. I have not played it yet, but so far, everyone that I trust their opinion on games or say that they're more aligned with what I like, have all said, this game is fun.
Yeah.
You'll like it a lot more than you think you will.
Yeah.
So give it a shot. So I have it, but you made me upgrade it. You made me
worth it.
You're gonna like this one, Derrick, for sure. I think so, for sure. Speaking of Derrick, I have you listen next because an obvious, as you know, overlap with Colin.
Yep.
So you also chose Primal.
Primal is amazing. Colin has said all the right things about this game. It is never leaving my collection. They actually are going to be making more to it and building out the world, which I'm super pumped for. The monsters are so unique. Pac-Man and I were playing Primal and we were playing the games, but then we kind of started playing Aeon Zen, but we still always want to get back to it. However, 2 of my old coworkers was like, I was like, hey, they love Monster Hunter. They might like this game. And I took it over to their house and I played it, and they were like, we need to play this game every week. Like, so we now have a recurring schedule of friends coming over and playing Primal, and they love it so much. Primal is just a really good game. Colin said everything. It's top notch. Card combos. It's just fantastic. But yeah, that's my co-op game of the year, along with Slay the Spire. This game surprised the heck out of me. Right? I know the IP. And the IP was fun, but I didn't expect it to translate so well to a board game. And it's the no downtime thing is huge in this game. There's 0 downtime. Everybody plays together. Everybody's talking across the table. There's always interaction, which is huge. I love that in games. You reduce the downtime and you get everybody at the table talking to each other. I'm able to shield from this monster hit, but I can get rid of this monster because you don't have any hits, so I'll attack yours, but I'll be able to block damage. I might take a damage here or there. Well, that's fine. Next round, we'll all help each other out as you ascend through the 4 levels, 3 level, and then 4th level, more or less with the keys. With the keys. Yep. And so I gave this game away to one of my giveaways only because I only want to play this game multiplayer, and Steve has it. So my thing is, this game, I don't know, Kim, I want to get your thoughts on how you feel about it. But for me, this game is like, it's kind of like I really want it to be, whether it's either on stream or off stream during a Game of Palooza, that this is we got to play this whenever I come for a Game of Palooza, because I really like this game a lot. But I don't know how you feel about it, Kim. Like, what are your thoughts?
How beautifully of a segue.
Perfect segue. So Kim and I chose games. We chose 2 games. They happen to be the exact same game. So we'll jump into it.
So
Kim, what do you think it's like?
I gotta say, the flow of this is working out beautifully, you guys. This is great. No, Derrick, 100%. I did not know that you really liked this game, because for sure we would be playing it for Game of Palooza. It is on the list for the next time you're over, for sure. But yeah, I agree with everything you said. The other thing that I really like is, I get to choose which cards I want, and I want all the cards, because everything is just more power, and you get to level it up. Fantastic game. I've only ever played with other people. I've never done solo.
It's
So
good solo, but the problem
yeah.
is there's the video game, so you can just play that.
I never played the video
So,
game.
yeah.
But the cooperative board game, mwah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I won't say much. You can add to it, but Derrick said a lot of wonderful.
Oh,
things.
you guys did a great job covering it.
Yep.
I absolutely love it. I will mention that we're having a problem with our copy in that the sleeves are breaking down. We played it
Yeah.
that much
I've heard that. I've heard that.
that the sleeves are falling apart, so I gotta re-sleeve it. But so that's, I say it's a bad thing, but it's really not. It just means we played it that much. It's an
Yeah.
amazing game. We
Yeah.
absolutely love this game.
And another, again, it goes back to the fact that we can play this game with Caleb, our son.
Yeah.
But it's not like
It's hard.
it's
game.
not. Yeah. So I'm glad that he can play it.
Yeah,
But that's why it hits the table a lot because
sure.
Caleb plays too.
for sure.
And then so second choice, which for me I think is like just behind Slay of the Spire. I think for you it might be swapped with, I don't know if you.
It's hard because I realize I rate campaign games more harshly than non-campaign games. And it's just because I feel like when I play through campaign game is not a big drive to bring back to the table right away. As far as a standalone game, I'll play it over and over and over again, no big deal. But
Earth Under Siege.
Earth Under Siege campaign game, and actually you play standalone too, honestly. But absolutely love this game. It is, there are certain elements I look for in a game, in the game design, and this one is hitting a lot of those elements. Multi-use cards, awesome. Very unique characters. All the missions are unique. Luck mitigation is massive in this game. You do a lot with that. The cooperation's huge, and actually, both the one thing these two games share in common is the downtime. Like it is, you're just doing things all together all at the same time. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So much cooperation. Really great game. Yeah, I want to keep playing through the campaign. So.
And we will.
Was this the game where Kim, you and I stab people in their sleep?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We
did
slit
do
some
that.
throats.
Take the pillow. It's okay. Nobody knows.
I'm not hanging out with you two anymore. Oh my goodness.
That was the mission.
We're not
It
allowed
was
to stay at
the
your house,
mission.
Colin.
Thematically, it's basically XCOM, the board game.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Thematically, the play is obviously different. Of course,
Yeah, it's
but
different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe that's why it speaks to me, because again, XCOM, best video game I've ever played.
Just a fantastic game. So I almost listed it as my hidden gem, but because I chose to put game of the year, I didn't put a hidden gem too. So because that could easily
Yeah.
qualify.
Yep.
But yeah, really great game. No sleepovers Steve's again.
You just see Kim standing over the pillow.
Don't mind us. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. And it's coming back to Kickstarter, I think. Maybe not Game Found. It's coming back to crowdfunding next year, so with expansion. So, okay, Bairnt, your game of the year. You chose two.
It doesn't really matter what I say, nobody can hear me.
No, I think
They hear
you're
you.
good now.
They hear you.
Oh,
You're good.
okay, my audio is great. Okay, that I didn't put Primal because I knew Colin would. So I decided to wear the shirt. These two games, and besides, somebody had to be different here on the channel because everybody was going to say the same stuff about the great games that came out. So I picked two games that I know you guys weren't going to say that are absolutely awesome games. One of them, Seven Citadel. I'm actually coming back to this one this week. This is a huge upgrade to Seventh Continent. It points you in the right direction. It has an amazing. I just love the system. Perform an action. I mean, it's not like, and then just make sure you can keep the iconography card next to you so you know what you're doing. Your goal is just perform actions and complete whatever the mission is, right? That's all you got to do. But you can explore this rich world and experience, and it actually has like more dialogue and narratives in Seventh Continent. Seventh Continent, you're really kind of creating your narrative. This one, you're not only creating it, but you're also learning about it as you go, which is really cool. Eggmonia is probably the best dungeon crawler ever made right now. There isn't anything better than that because you actually get to do things, and as you're doing it, you get to uncover parts of the, instead of just like, okay, you're going to the dungeon and your goal is to get the treasure from the evil dragon. Okay, fine. Boom, you hit the board. Okay, now go fight things until you find the treasure. Like this one, you're actually having to uncover these cards to progress through the dungeon or finding new cool things like, oh, there's something over there. And you flip it over, it's a haystack. Oh, neat. What's in the haystack? Let's perform a test. Oh, you found a treasure chest. Oh, neat. There's a treasure chest in the haystack. I wouldn't have known that because it's not just on the board as a treasure chest, bonk, over there in the corner. You know what I mean? So I really enjoy, and the characters are really cool. I like the system with the stamina tokens becoming health tokens and things like that. Yeah, I did. Why do you keep bringing that up, Colin? Why do you gotta keep bringing that up?
Because you keep talking about the game, I get excited.
We're almost to the point where we're gonna trade it back to you for Red Dragon Inn. So get
Okay,
ready.
I'm down with that trade. I'm
Yep,
down with that trade.
You're down for trading a game that
I'm
you own
trading a
back for
game that's
another game
mine for another game that's mine. Yeah.
Yep. So those are these two games were two really, really good ones that came out. There were actually quite a bit. I struggled with this because there were actually quite a bit of good games that came out. But I knew a lot of them were going to be talked about on the channel already. So I wanted to make sure I brought a couple other ones to life. And if you haven't played either of these, I would recommend them. Seven Citadel is a little up to, not everybody would like it, but Agmoni, if you like dungeon crawlers, it's a great dungeon crawler. The world is cool. And so far we've played, out of the 4 missions we've played, all of them. Colin even came over for one and we're like, oh my gosh, we've never done anything like this. It's super cool. We have to do this, do that, and then this, do that, and then this has to happen. Let's go over here and check out what this thing is. And like we did that. It's like, oh, we got this little thing. Must have to use it over here. And we go over there. Nope, we don't use it over there. Okay, we have to do it here. Then all of a sudden this thing appeared. We had to deal with that thing. So it was, and I don't want to give too much away if you haven't noticed. Lots of things in thems and
Sure.
stuffs. So that's it. So far, that's one of the things that's really I've enjoyed about that game too, is the fact that all the missions have been completely different, which is pretty cool. I think that's all I got.
Cool. Jan, got a quick question here. No mention of Unity Alliance. I enjoy that game quite a bit. It hasn't hit the table a lot recently, so that's why it hasn't shown up on this list. So I want to get it played more, but it might appear on this list at some point once you get more plays underneath our belt.
We gotta play it more. I do have one gripe with the game.
That's a big gripe, and it's valid.
Yeah, it's the text, and there's so much little text. I can't see that stuff.
And the UI revamp is needed for sure.
Yep. But no, it was fun. We gotta play it more though.
Yep. Community. Let's look at what they chose. There was some similarities there.
Wait, what? Well, let's see.
Actually, they did.
There you go.
The number one choice of the list was Leviathan Wilds.
Good choice.
So saw that the most on there. Primal's on there as well. Earthborn Rangers, we mentioned earlier. Fliptown Agamonia, so there you go, Bairnt was on there. Earth Under Siege was mentioned. That's Game of the Year. Harakiri. Tidal Blades 2. And Elder Scrolls, which isn't released yet, but someone put it on there yet. That's fine. So
yeah.
Arcs was mentioned as well. So Primal too. Yeah, Primal. Yeah. Lots of good games.
Awesome, but no, Leviathan Wilds has the most votes on that one.
For sure.
Yeah. Yep. Good choice, community.
Good stuff. Okay, we're almost done. We got one last category to go through, and that's the most anticipated game. We're looking forward to the most coming up next year. Not released yet. Starting with Derrick. Not surprised at all you put this on your list, Derrick.
Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. That game is amazing. It is so good. Like, I don't know who is in the same camp with me, but if you are, you can secretly raise your hand. I have struggled with loving a chip theory game. I love the company. I gotta jump in there first. I love the company.
There was no hesitation.
No, there doesn't need to be. And that's not me kissing butt. I just want to be very clear, because I know when I said that last time, I had someone be like, how dare you? They're great to their community and they love everyone. And I'm like, I'm not talking about the company. I'm talking about their games. Chip Theory Games is everyone in that company so far has been super kind, very sweet, and very open to listening to community feedback. And yes. I like that. That's beyond measure, right? So I think the company is very cool. And I've always wanted to say, hey, I want to play a game from this cool company. So I tried Too Many Bones. I tried Burn Cycle. Oh, God, kill me. I tried so many other games. I think the only game I haven't played from them is Cloudspire. I've played all their other ones and none of them hit. And I finally played Hoplomachus Victorum and I was like, okay, I'm feeling this one a little bit more. But then they said they're going to release Elder Scrolls. And I was like, I love the IP. I think I love that IP. I love the world of Tamriel. I love the stories that are there. And it looks a lot like Victorum, so I was like, okay, and I was able to thank you so much for that they allowed me to have a review copy, which Steve had to teach me, like, you get to keep that, right? And I'm like, what? No, I'm supposed to send this off and just play it, right? But no, I still have it, and it is a fantastic game. I have one gripe about it, but it has nothing to do with gameplay. The gameplay is fun. Um, I I do enjoy the gameplay a lot. I do enjoy the story. I do enjoy the card play, the cards that you get that are those PVC cards that you flip over, and the dice that you roll, and all the different variants of character creation you could do. It's D&D basically. I mean, in the world of Tamriel, but if you have a character, you can spec this character to any spec you want, any way you want, and you get these really cool dice to play and use, and it's a lot of fun. The maps are all very different, and the provinces do different things as you play through. So if they are able to add the other provinces, this game is going to be really good, and it's going to be really big for people who love this style of game. It's not going to be for everybody, but I found the Chip Theory game that I've been waiting for, so I can support this great company with Elder Scrolls. It's fun. My only gripe is their map. Like, it's the PVC map, so everything slides all over it. And I really wish there was a way, like, maybe if it was dual layer and you could you can indent these things, but that's like a minor thing that someone in Etsy will fix at some point.
Are you playing on a boat?
When you play it, you'll see. That's what I'll say. You'll see. You'll be like, you're absolutely right. So,
I mean, the cards are waterproof, right? So you could play on a boat, right?
Yeah, you could. But it's yeah. See, like Yogi's, like, he ended up like blue tackle, stick the things down. But I think someone on Etsy will come up with some way to solve that problem, and the game will be great, just like it always is.
Yep. Cool.
So, yep, this is my most anticipated. I think it's going to be incredible. It's probably going to be my game of 2025.
You said that's a possibility for sure.
Yeah, very high.
That's a fun one. That's a fun one. Bairnt,
I have high expectations, man.
Lots of games. You chose 3 games.
I did. So I don't know if anybody remembers this, but the first time I think we did this, it was Colin, myself, and Steve, I think, did this. And Steve goes, okay. Oh, and I think it was our podcast still. I think you were still doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And Steve goes, so Bairnt, what is something you're anticipating? What am I anticipating? Oh, I think the game I'm anticipating most is something like, I was Oathsworn, I just listed off like 10 games. All of a sudden, Colin, what about you? Wow, no, Bairnt kind of just told all the games. That's right. So I didn't take all of them from, because he doesn't even know half these games. Well, he doesn't know Dante Inferno. Dante, I have high expectations. I really think that Nemesis Retaliation is the only one that's going to make it this year. I hope Rogue Angels makes it this year. I don't think Dante's going to make it this year. But these are the 3 that I'm really excited for. Dante Inferno is a boss battler. I think it's going to be outstanding. I mean, how Capybara took out the boss at the end was amazing. I love the designer who said he's never seen that happen before. That was my favorite. Rogue Angels, super awesome sci-fi dungeon crawler. We've all done the prototypes of it. If you're interested in seeing some of that, we've done them on all the channels. You can check it out. Super cool game. Nemesis Retaliation. Colin and I did a playthrough of the the prototype of that. It's the next iteration of Nemesis. No longer are you prowling around looking for always prowling around looking for like a gun or anything that you can get the upper hand on, like a grenade to throw into a room or anything like that.
Hypothetically.
This one, you're going in guns blazing, and I think it'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to all 3 of these. These are going to be super fun.
Bairnt, I want to ask. So I haven't watched any of the playthroughs of Retaliation, only because I'm like, I don't want to get spoiled by it. I love Nemesis. I think your channel was the one that turned me onto it, and I've been a huge fan ever since. I've got everything for it. But for Nemesis Retaliation, compared to Lockdown and Nemesis, is this a completely different game?
Yes.
Can you integrate the aliens from Nemesis and Lockdown into it? And do you feel that and the third question is, do you feel that it's better than those other 2?
Okay, so first off, it's a completely different game, I would feel. Two, can you add the other monsters into this one? They might have a way of doing it. The miniatures are not the same. It's like a completely different, I would say it's a completely different iteration of the game. So Lockdown and Nemesis, very similar. So basically, did you like the movie Alien? Yes, I love Nemesis and Nemesis Lockdown. You like Aliens? Yes, you like Retaliation. It's more of the going in with the Marines, gun blazing, like trying to hold them off, but finding out you're in a desperate situation kind of thing. So that's, I would say Nemesis and Nemesis Lockdown are way, way closer in what they are to each other than Nemesis Retaliation.
Okay.
Did that answer all 3 questions?
I was asking if you think it's better than the other two.
Different, 100%. It's like saying, is Alien or Aliens a better movie? They're both great.
Okay.
But they're both really different. One is like their struggle for survival, and the other one's they go in guns blazing. We've got this. Overconfidence is our weakness kind of thing. Is it a stand-up fight or another bug hunt, sir? And it's like there's a xenomorph involved. It's a bug hunt, and that kind of thing. Like they go in thinking, oh, we got this. Kind of thing.
And Joe, in my mind, there are only 2 Alien movies, 1 and 2.
Yeah, yes, I like the Alien 3. I like it a lot.
But no, if you liked it, I'm
I like Alien
confident
Resurrection
I'll
as
like
well. Drink Elton constantly.
it.
My favorite lines for that movie.
Next person to go will be Kim, because Kim has some overlap with Bairnt.
Yeah.
So Kim, you
Dante's
chose 2
Inferno.
games.
Oh.
2 games. So Rogue Angels, to pivot off of Barrett. You mentioned you hope it comes out in 2025. That didn't even cross my mind. I really
We'll find out.
I didn't know that was a thing, or remember that was a thing that could happen.
Well, yeah, it's
but-
fine.
But yeah, no, Rogue Angels is really cool. Part of that game where it's like you get to choose which side of the line you fall on. Right? Or am I getting my games mixed up?
Nope, you got it right.
You
Yeah,
got it
see? His face
Fine.
said it's
Keep going, keep going.
Okay,
Nope.
anyway.
Do you kill the engineer or do you let her live?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, that part. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, what line? I'm thinking physically in the game. What line? Like, well, there's lots of lines.
No. Barrett and I clearly on the same page.
Yes.
So,
Walk the
but-
line, Steve. Walk
yeah.
the line.
Yeah, super pumped for that one. And then I listed Stone Saga too. Something about that game just has me just waiting in anticipation per the title of this segment here. But yeah, because that's what, crafting, right? And
Crafting is
it's
the
just
best.
the crafting on that
The
one.
best.
Anyway, go read about it.
They-
It's so interesting to me, that way that they did that crafting.
They've made a lot of improvements to it too since we played it, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, yeah, we'll play. It'll be fun. And then, like, oh, yeah, it took us. We both absolutely loved the game. So
Yeah,
I can't say
yeah.
enough about. To this day, that's still my favorite Open Owl Studio game
Oh,
that
okay.
we played. Yeah,
Okay.
Mythwind, Stars of Cars, all that. This Stone Saga is the one to go for. Absolutely. Oh, and Storyfolds too. I still go
Storyfold's
for Stone
amazing.
Saga.
I know. Colin will like Storyfold.
Yeah, Storyfolds. I mean, they have a lot of good games, but Stone Saga. Oof.
Yeah.
Hold the line, Steve. Yes, that's a good
Um,
segue. Go ahead. Are you done?
Well, no.
Okay, good. Sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
So I was gonna bring up Chris's comment that made us die. I expect a new table for Steve.
Oh, yeah. Where was that? Yeah.
You passed it already. It's fine.
Oof.
Oh, guys, it's- oh, yeah. That's right. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my third one. There you go.
Now we're talking about, is this coming out in 2025? The answer is no. Just put it out there.
It's been 84 years.
10-year plan. 10-year plan.
Didn't you have you had your most anticipated game was the same one for like 4 years?
Yeah, and that's kind of where. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's still waiting to come out. And I'll jump to mine because I think these are non-surprise for people because it's still waiting to come out.
Company Heroes.
Company Heroes. Hold the lines. A perfect segue into that. That one should be first quarter though. So that is to this day my most expensive backing of a game. Like I went all in that one. I cannot wait for it to come out. It is my kind of the grail like war game I wanted. So I demoed it with my buddy's house, or I played a few games with him. Absolutely loved it. Can't wait for it to come. So it's gonna be really, really cool. And then of course Iridia, which shipping notice. I saw the confirmation of shipping address has come out, so that should be here pretty soon as well. So that is certainly coming in 2025. That game,
That's fun.
I still remember to this day.
Yes.
Events that happened in that game.
Damn. Okay.
I think all of you have played that game except me.
Oh, you haven't played?
I haven't played Iridia.
Oh, I thought you all had
only Stephen Kim
review
had.
copies. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I watched all of Stephen Kim's play. Actually, that is
I-
my most anticipated game is Iridia. So
yeah,
I'm
I watched their
listening on that.
first
Yeah, pull
one,
it-
and I was like,
pull that
and
in.
I backed it.
Yeah, we can
but
pull it
I
in
know
because Colin, you can talk about it too because
But yeah, I'm terrible at. No, I don't know much about it other than what I watched of yours, but I
Same
loved
here.
your video
yeah.
and I backed it. So it's one I'm really excited for it to show up.
I hope it's a me game. I really, really hope it's a me game.
I think it will
Go
be.
ahead, Colin.
It has painted miniatures, so I'm happy.
There you go.
Yeah, for
There you
sure.
go.
No, it's fantastic. Story is great. The open world, you can feel like you do whatever you want. Is really fun in it. You get loot, which is awesome. Loot. The NPCs was something I didn't expect I enjoyed in that one.
Yeah.
Where like how you interact with characters. If you play multiplayer, that is, you can say whatever you want, and the cards describe the character's personality and the types of responses. So based on what they say, you look up their response and respond that way.
Mhm.
And I remember one of the characters was really sassy.
She's sexy for sure.
I know, it's so fun. Play that. It came out in the game, and I didn't expect that to happen. Now, for solo, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll work okay. You won't have the surprise of, like, in this, I think it's called a role-playing point, RP point, where you get, like, it's a reroll. It's not a huge deal, but that changes a little bit in that. But, yeah, really cool game. Really, really enjoyed this one.
It's made by the same company who made Zaya.
Yes.
And I absolutely love Zaya so much. And their emergent story is always good in that game. So I'm not concerned. I think this one's gonna be good. Derrick, I'm not sure it's gonna be a you game, but
You don't,
you
oh
don't
no!
think so?
What are you feeling? Like
I
tell
don't
me-
know. I have no idea because I have not played it.
Okay.
I gotta
Okay.
play
Okay.
first to know. But from first blush, that's just my initial thought. But I could
Okay.
totally be wrong.
No. You're usually spot on with like hit and misses for me. So that because Steve was like, "This is a me game," and so
Yeah, he
I'm
knows
wondering
more
if
than
it's
I would.
not-
He's played it. I have not played it.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got to actually get it first.
Is this also the game that where you can like change the minis, like you can actually pop stuff off and
Yeah.
put new things in and stuff like that?
Just the head, I think.
Yes.
Because you have a small body and a big body you can do.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
That means you can put your character's head on any type of class and any type of like loadout that he has.
Oh, okay, so it's like someone in armor, and you just pop your character's head in there.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Or he's got a bow and arrow, and then you pop that.
Okay, all right. I thought it was more like Oathsworn, where you could pop arms off and
No,
all this
no.
other
I
stuff.
don't think so. No.
Not this
Okay.
one. No. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm optimistically curious how I will feel about this for sure.
Okay. Other people who had on the community list, Elder Scrolls is on there, of course. Maladin was on there. Stone Saga, Tidal Blades, Iridia was the one that's mentioned. Actually, no, Elder Scrolls and Iridia were tied because they're both mentioned twice in this one. Set a Watch, Cyberpunk 2077 was on there as well. So lots of other anticipated.
Always something coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh wait, the audio's not working anymore.
Wow!
What were your games in? I don't even remember.
Wow!
I am totally kidding.
You might want to cut that out, Steve.
I'm-
In post production.
Yeah, I gotta follow up. I'm
No,
kidding
clip
really
that,
fast,
clip
otherwise
that.
they can clip that and just leave that in there.
Clip it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. For Emil's one for Rogue Angels, I always look forward to that.
Yeah.
It to me, it's Mass Effect. He's created Mass Effect, so I'm looking forward to that.
That was a really fun game. Really fun game. So cool.
That's all the categories you guys.
We went through all the categories.
That was
It's a
everything.
long stream, long chat, but it was a fun time to reflect on 2024. I feel like I know people say it's a lot, but I feel like 2024 had a lot of really great games coming out.
Yeah.
High concentration than normal, I would say. It was tough to go through his list and picking some of these out. So
Yeah. Yeah, like I wanted to put Aeon Trespass Odyssey on there, but I haven't played it this
Mm.
year
It's not a
to
requirement.
to put it on the to put it on
Not
the
a
list. It's not
requirement.
but I want to play that game. It's just controlling 4 characters solo is so daunting.
Yeah.
Totally easy.
Like Colin and Bairnt can do it. I can't.
So easy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, what's happening next in holidays? I think everyone's taking a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, I assume so. I know we got the Christmas and New Year's coming up here in the States and everything. If you guys celebrate that as well, a lot of our community. So I think it's gonna be a little bit of a quieter content dropping over the next week. I'm assuming for everyone here. I would say. I know we're planning to do Marvel Monday though for sure.
We will play Marvel Monday.
Yeah.
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 So, and I think Derrick, are you planning to do Marvel as well? So coming up.
Yeah, I'll do the lunchtime stream on Tuesday.
Okay.
But then after Boxing Day, I'm probably going to be back to. Actually, I'm off, so there'll probably be more for me because
Oh,
I
okay.
can't be around people, so I need something to do with my time. So I probably might be streaming more, but I hope everybody has fun, eat lots of food, spend all the time with loved ones, and have a really great holiday.
Okay, for
Yeah.
sure.
Likewise.
What
Yeah,
about
we're
you,
not
Colin,
coming
Bairn? Do you guys
back.
have things
Well, we're
signing
not
off?
coming back till January 9th. It will be our next thing. We're fighting the Black Knight in Kingdom Death. We're taking 3 weeks off here to kind of refocus, get ourselves back up and running, learn how to work again, and things of that nature. For those of you that don't know, Colin has had quite a lot of time off to be able to hang out with this new baby and the family and all that, which is a blessing. I keep telling him I wish I could have those moments again. So it's awesome he's been able to do that. So we're taking a 3 week from the live stuff, but we'll still be doing some stuff. I'm trying to do 7 Citadel. I now have a mission. I have a goal. My goal is to finish the first cycle of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. That is my goal. We'll see how that comes to fruition. As the problem with goals is they always get interrupted by new games appearing on your doorstep, and that's what happens. I'm actually, believe it or not, one thing we might be doing is I might be recording Axis and Allies with my son. He's interested in playing that game with me, and we're going to play it probably this weekend. And then if he really likes it, we might do a recording of it together for the channel. We'll see if that comes to fruition or not.
Yep, sure.
Colin's got about 42 games planned because he
42.
Well, I mean, when we went through our list last time, I'll get 1 done here in December, and he'll get like 13.
Yes, it is true. The one I just did, which will be up soon, is War of the Ring, the card game. I used the expansion and did the epic duel, and it was amazing. Just so good. I love that game. But yeah, after that, I don't know. Kids are home for the next 2 weeks, so it's going to be harder.
It's harder.
Yep.
Yeah, Bairnt, I want to coordinate with you on ATO as you're going through cycle 1. You and I'll talk on the side, but I want to coordinate with you on that. Might be fun.
We will coordinate.
Hey, for Dan's thing of ATO, Bairnt, stay focused. So Dan, do you want me to play Mage Knight or Aeon Trespass Odyssey? Huh?
Yes.
Why not both?
Exactly.
Colin, you were saying that you started because you're the reason why I'm doing this now too. You started the Betrayal campaign for Mage Knight, but you didn't go through it all, did you?
No, because I moved channels.
That'll do it. Are you gonna? Do you plan to pick it back up, or are you done?
I haven't decided. I haven't
Okay.
decided if I would pick it up or restart it. It's a little weird when, you know what I mean? So I have someone on this channel, someone on this channel. Yeah. Haven't figured that one out yet.
Well, yeah, and I know the expansion's supposed to come out next year, I think.
Hopefully soon.
So
I'm
it'll be,
excited.
yeah.
I'm surprised you put that on your list.
I could have. Aurelia is more. See, I'm always about what's going to come soon now.
Yes,
Whatever's
yeah,
coming in the
yeah,
future.
yeah,
I don't know.
not the
Aurelia,
unknown.
I know I got a shipping notice saying, "Hey, confirm your address." So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's like waiting on Kamon's Dark Providence game.
Good
I'll
luck.
be doing an unboxing of Iridia pretty soon, and then I'll do a playthrough.
No, I'm not giving you that one.
Oh, Zach.
I've learned my lesson. I learned how to do unboxings just so I don't give them to him and then he plays
Yeah.
them. And
I know. That's pretty awesome.
Hey, Zach, don't you worry. I'm gonna be reaching out to you too, because you two have to help me make this game more approachable as a solo player. So we'll talk.
Yep. Awesome.
Well, I want to say, Alexis, I'm glad you got your chip. So happy to hear that. So
Yeah, but to that point, thanks, I think, from all of us to
Mhm.
everybody that supports and comes and hangs out with us, participates in the community, the Patreon, the Ko-Fi members, YouTube membership people, everybody, or even if you're none of that and you just hang out and chat with us. Shout out to Mike James, who gave the final boss blow of the boss battle today.
that's right.
Took him out. So good job, guild community. You beat the boss. But yeah, thank you sincerely from all of us, and happy holidays. And we will all see you, next week or in 2025.
That's right. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time at the guild.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Take care, everyone.